we got Matt here, who's the father, and we got Tyrus, who's the son, and they like to collect together. So welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So the cool part is, I really enjoyed when your channel started because it's so similar to mine. I obviously am working on a Clemente Playing Days run, and you guys are working on a Hank Aaron run. So it's crazy that we both are trying to build runs of players that are in the same decade. So I just wanted to, I guess I wanted to start with why did you guys pick Hank Aaron? I really never heard the exact reason why you guys are such a big fan of his.
Sure. So Tyrus is my second born son, but I got some naming convention rights for both kids, which is pretty rare, I think, right? But
Yeah.
So being a big baseball fan, she let me pick some baseball names. So Tyrus obviously is for Tyrus Raymond Cobb, and then with his middle name, we went with Henry for Hammer and Hank. So I got both naming rights, so I went with baseball for both of them. I think we did well. So we're just collecting Hank Aaron. It's a little more obviously affordable on the budget than trying to get Ty Cobb playing day card. We still don't have a Ty Cobb card. We'll obviously look to get one day, but the Hank Aaron cards are more. You have a Ty Cobb card, but not a playing day card, right? Yeah. So we're gonna obviously get there eventually as our hobby funds replenish. But for now, we had a good time picking up Hank Aaron cards.
That's cool. What team do you guys actually cheer for? What baseball team's your favorite?
So for me, it's the Phillies.
Okay.
So, which is funny because obviously I have a nice big fat Braves jersey on Christmas Day with Hank Aaron's number on the back, but it's a Braves jersey, so it's kind of like I'm sure my Phillies internal was kind of cringing, but I root for the Phillies. Ty, who's your favorite team?
The Texas Rangers or the Phillies.
Yeah, Ty's a hometown fan, so we live here in DFW area, so he roots for the Rangers. That's the only team he's probably ever seen.
And the Phillies.
Yeah, we took him to some games when he was little, when we lived in Chicago area, but yeah, most of the times he's been to the Rangers games. Probably doesn't remember the games when he was little.
Very cool. So one of the things I wanted to hear is a little bit more about your backstory. When did you start collecting baseball cards, and how have you pivoted along the way, I guess?
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Like I've always been a player collector. So I started collecting when I was like 7 or 8, like a lot of young boys. So I was born in 79. So this is like 86, 87. This is prime, junk wax era. 86 tops with a big fat black border at the top. I think everyone remembers those cards. So very condition sensitive. So I started picking up cards then, and I was a player collector then for Ryan Sandberg. So
Okay.
I guess second baseman for the Cubs. A lot of that's probably due to the fact that WGN played the games during the day. Every afternoon they'd be on TV. If you're a Braves fan, they'd be on TBS. But I think those cable networks kind of being big in the 80s and the games being on during the summer, that's what I kind of gravitated to, right? So Cubs had a good team. Obviously, a lot of people remember Ryan Sandberg Day back in '84 when he went crazy on that Saturday. And so it just naturally kind of drawn to the team. Obviously, kind of always root for the underdog too. So even at that time, they were already over 75 years without a World Series win, multiple decades without even going to the World Series. So kind of lovable losers, if you will, right? And then obviously Harry Carey made it fun for fans. So I collected Ryan Sandberg for probably 10 years until he retired the first time.
Okay.
And then kind of put it to the side, I guess, as you get to the your teenage years, you find other interests, I guess. I wasn't big into the video games, probably not so much the girls like most other guys did. I went straight into PlayStation and everything else. So
Okay.
and kind of put cards to the back burner for a little bit. And then I came back a couple of different times since, though, Theo.
Yeah.
So I came back in the mid 2000s, kind of player collecting again with Chase Utley.
Okay.
That's kind of where I got my love for the Phillies. He was young and up and coming. They had Jimmy Rollins, if you guys recall.
Yeah.
They had, obviously Ryan Howard eventually, great pitching with Cole Hamels, and then they added a bunch of pitching later to kind of supplant the rotation. But always player collecting, right? So, and obviously the much cheaper open product back then. So opened a lot of product too. A lot of wax packs were broken. Not really doing that much these days. Just prefer to buy the singles. But even then, I bought a lot. eBay was full, hot and heavy then. Whereas like in the '80s, you had to go to card shows or card shops. So it's just different. That's kind of how I guess it's evolved. Is obviously the internet made things a lot easier.
Yeah.
To player collect, whether it's ComC, Sport Lots, or even just eBay auctions, right? So
yeah, the Phillies had a nice run there. Won a couple World Series, I believe. Do Do you have any Utley cards like from the run you collected? Anything that's maybe unique or that you really liked from his run?
So it's funny. I think you're familiar with Joe at Force Off Corners. He actually still collects Chase Utley cards. We've been talking quite a bit. So
Okay.
I'm sending some of my stuff to him just to give to him. But I used to collect all like the serialized cards, right? So this is obviously only out of 250. This is back from like 2004, turn of the century. Like these EX, these were always nice. The die cuts, I always like those. And then here's another one that's out of 100. So I like the numbered stuff.
Okay.
Actually, it was pretty hardcore. At one point I had like 56 101s for Utley,
56,
including like the
56 101s.
yeah, I was pretty invested. Eventually I sold
Wow.
them all. But I had
Wow.
like the Allen and Ginter first year wood minis. If you recall, you ever seen one of those wood miniature cards? I had that in 06. I had that. I had like they had like a really cool, a lot of players collect these, like where they had the last name of the jersey, they'll have each letter spelled out. SP
Yeah.
Authentic, one called By the Letter. I had that one. Those were out of 25. They weren't that hard to get, but I had the whole, you only had 5-letter last name, which made it easier too, right? But I had that. I sold all those off. Obviously, continued to pivot. Life changes, have kids, you got different priorities along the way, right? So what I have now is mostly just all the stuff that's like 100, like serialized to 100, 250. I had like all the rainbows for like the Bowman Chrome Superfractor, Topps Chrome Superfractor. I had all the rainbows basically. I just was hardcore, and eBay made it easy, right? Relatively speaking, it was just more of a money thing than making it
So
difficult.
selling those one on ones, did you use eBay? Did you sell them in a lot? Did you go to your card shop? How
Sure.
did you sell 56 one on ones and get your best money, I guess, out of it?
I went eBay at the time, and then obviously what you do is you start seeing the same buyers pop up. Like you can kind of be proactive and reach out to them and say, "Hey, I have other cards. Are you interested in any of these?" To try to do some bigger deals, maybe offline, right? Even then, eBay was pretty prohibitive with fees. Nothing like today, but even back then, it was still 10+% kind of cut going to eBay, right?
Right.
PayPal too. So wherever I could and felt comfortable with the buyer, like if they're buying, $300 or $400, $500 cards, I was comfortable making some offline deals where possible because they were, people that were just like me, like people helped me do the same thing when I was buying. I was doing the same thing on that end. Like if someone had some things I wanted, I would always reach out to see if they had anything else. And I've been doing that even with the collections we have now. Is I'll reach out to some of the same sellers to see if they have more cards looking to move that they want to try to, go offline if where they're comfortable and just do PayPal goods and services still, right? So you're covered. But yeah,
Yeah.
all that on eBay. We didn't have like at that time there wasn't the Dallas card show like there is now.
Right.
So there wasn't like a big forum to sell them. And a lot of the card shops here, like I'm sure like most other parts of the country, kind of closed up due to eBay. I think a lot of times, right? So or just people got disinterested in the baseball card hobby. They kind of went more into football and obviously basketball with like LeBron and like, right. So I think baseball kind of went on a downturn, I guess, in the 2000s, at least to me,
Yeah.
uh, in terms of popularity, right? So
Wow. Do you feel like you gained a nice profit from you probably started collecting him when he wasn't as popular and then you probably sold him when he was. Did you feel like you actually made a nice profit for selling those?
maybe like 10 or 20%, because a lot of times I would overpay, being like the only one looking for 101s, right? So,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to leave anything go. So like I'd always put in a pretty hefty snipe and then make sure I won the card. So like the wood, I remember I paid like $600 for the wood mini because I don't know I wanted to have it.
Wow.
So some of those cards like that I actually lost a little bit of money on.
Okay.
Some of the triple threads I did okay on because those were pretty popular back then. If you recall, like I had one that had Schmidt, Howard, and Utley on it out of one. So like that one I did okay on.
Wow.
But no, I mean there was a lot of fun cards back then too. Like Ultimate Collection came out. There's a lot of cool patches you could pick up, pretty inexpensively back then. Buying singles, a lot cheaper than buying the packs, right? So
Are
that's how
you
I did it. It was fun.
yeah, do you have any cards that you regret out of that Utley run that you wish you still had, or you fine with it and you moved on?
I'm okay. I feel like I moved on. Like if you look back at his stats, like he ended up. It's actually funny. I'm looking this morning just to double check, but his WAR was like 3 off from Sandberg. But I don't think I was gonna. People say he'll make the Hall of Fame. I don't think he'll make it. But at the time it was just to collect for fun, right? I mean, I still have
Right.
probably. I have a 2-row box here. They're probably 500 cards still, but.
Okay.
But I'm gonna probably just slowly just give those to Joe over the course of several care packages because I want to see him at a home that someone appreciates him, right? Just like I appreciate my that Aaron cards we have now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Um, so you guys, I've watched pretty much all your stuff, and you know your early videos, you guys were very much on like this is for us. This is like basically a diary of our journey. If anybody cares to watch, go for it. But we want to just keep track of this you know this journey. And we have it on YouTube now. And you know I hate to say it, but I feel like half of that's true, but half of it's kind of like a lie to me because I feel like you guys love the card community, and I think you guys, like you just said about Joe and getting to know him, and me and you getting to know each other. So has it evolved, or did you always want to start meeting people that you might have saw on YouTube prior to filming? So I guess what's the whole reason you guys jumped on?
Yeah, no, it definitely evolved. I'll be honest. We're pretty shy. I'm pretty shy. I'm not sure if you can tell. I sit at a desk all day doing accounting work, so I'm pretty probably typical card collector, right? So like even our first 20 videos or so, we don't show ourselves, like, right? So
Right.
we had the hand modeling that I think John 3D80's kid called us out on, right? So not specifically, but a lot of the people on YouTube, right? So no,
Yeah.
it did just kind of evolve. Like we had, I mean, we were stuck on 10 subs or less for the first almost 2 months until Shane over at Shoebox Legend did a shout out for us.
Okay.
Yeah, we were stuck at 11 and
11 subscribers. There you
and
go.
we
So,
went to
and I think half of those were our family, right? So we're talking like, effectively. So even now, still 5 of our 125 is us, right? But no, I mean, it definitely evolved over time, and like it was fun. We actually got to meet our first YouTuber just recently. We met Mike Moynihan from Baseball Collector at the. He calls it the Fort Worth Card Show. It's just the Arlington version of the Dallas Card Show, but met him a few weeks back. No, but now we definitely want to meet the community. So definitely it did evolve over time.
Okay.
But it's not. We're not sitting here have aspirations of 5,000 subscribers. I mean, our contest obviously have been pretty fast and furious. We didn't intend for them, obviously. Like choosing the home run totals each year, I kind of thought would be a safe thing to do one every few months, and here we are. I think we're on contest number 4 in 4 months, so
Right.
which is fine. We love giving away stuff, but definitely come much faster than we expected, obviously, and we owe that to a lot of the great people in the community that reached out to us. Like Shane reached out. I mean, I don't think I'm probably been the I don't know. I probably need to get better at being more into the networking thing, but I'm not the most proactive on that front. But I think it's definitely been fun. We've enjoyed that more than I thought I would, for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, I kind of figured it was an evolution. And I definitely noticed how you guys flipped your camera around. I think it made a huge difference. You know, it's your channel's a lot more personable now, especially you being two people. And seeing your son and you on camera. I think it definitely made a huge improvement. I'm sure you guys realize that too.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I think especially that I didn't mean to cut you off there. That when we did the CSG reveal, just seeing Ty's face, like made it all kind of worth it, right? Like you see him just smiling, happy with it, no matter what the grades he got. He was just super excited. I'm so glad John told us, or John, we watched on video where he called people out on that because I have that now on camera forever, right? Like we wouldn't have had it otherwise. I'd been sitting next to him and not seen his reaction, right? So I definitely appreciate, and I don't see us going back to hand modeling other than if we have a big order we want to pull through, or maybe a binder video where we go through and look at our Z folios, but or like we do the drawings, right? But apart from that, I just don't see it changing. I think I prefer it this way, just to see his reaction as I watch him back later.
yeah. What I mean, it must be weird. Like you said, you met Mike, Baseball Collector. It must be kind of a little bit weird to meet somebody and to kind of be like a fanboy.
It
What was?
was a fanboy moment. I was like, I felt like the teenager to go up and talk to the girl, like you about to pass a note or something first to make sure it's okay. I saw him at the show and I kind of stalked him for a minute to make sure it was him.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Theo. And of course, he has his big TCU sweatshirt on, so I knew, and an SGC hat. I think I remember what he was wearing, which is bad, but
Yeah.
but no, it was like a fanboy moment, really, because I told him, I go, look, I really appreciate your videos. He was one of the first people I watched on YouTube. It was him and Ray from Philly. Were kind
Okay.
of the first two channels that I kind of stumbled across. And then it was funny. One of the other channels I came across early too was Dylan, Double D's Vintage, right? So I think I remember watching him earlier this year. It's like I had a couple of COVID scares, ended up not being COVID over the summer, and like I was just upstairs, kind of in the man cave up here, and like just watching YouTube for hours on end.
Okay.
But even that's been evolution in the watching, right? Because I watched sure, like a lot of people, they watched Sports Card Investor at some point. I don't watch any of this stuff now,
Right.
or even like Mojo Sports. Like I liked him for a little bit, but like the influencers are like I prefer the people direct collecting rather than trying to flip and looking for the profit. I think to me it's more about collecting the card and having the card. than looking for the profit, I guess, right? So
Yeah, and that's how 2 years ago I started with I started with break videos, and the new football set came out, and everybody was looking for the Joe Burrow and all those quarterbacks, Herbert. They
yep.
were all in that class, and I was watching football break videos of those sets, and I would go on eBay and I would like put $8 on the Steelers, and then I never ended up, and I actually think it's a blessing. I don't think it would have been a good thing, but I never ended up getting in one of the breaks, even though I bid on a lot of them. Just try to see if I can get in on them. But yeah, everybody picked a team, and then you watch the break video. And like I said in my videos, I really didn't know about vintage, and I didn't know about the vintage channels. So it kind of just gave me that start to getting back into cards. But I think that's pretty cool that you kind of started on the other end, and you started with the vintage and stuff like that, and knew what you liked. That's kind of cool. That's kind of how we differ, I guess. But another thing I wanted to know is, what is with Tyrus being in the videos? What's your wife's opinion about the channel, and has it changed since you guys started, or is it about the same?
I think at first she thought we, like a lot of things we tend to start and stop, is she thought we'd quit pretty quickly. So I think the fact that we're still doing them here 30 some videos later, I think she knows now it's got some staying power in the house. We're pretty good about our Saturday and Sunday postings.
Yeah,
She's even watched some of the videos recently, so I think she's getting more on board with it.
The cookie video.
I think she's enjoyed watching us kind of spend some time together too.
that's cool.
Like she even went to the last card show with us. Excuse me,
There
Theo.
was like a craft thing, and we noticed everybody like.
We didn't know there was a craft that next door, but she went to the craft place next door inside the card show convention. They had two different balls going on, so she got some Christmas gifts there too. But like she's the one that wanted to get the Hank Aaron jerseys for us to have quote unquote content, right? So she kind of jokes about it, right? She knows like when the mail comes, it's more like, and it's not about, we don't buy the cards just to have content, but like she knows, like she goes, oh, this will be on your video coming up soon, right? So she does watch our videos. Probably the last 5 or 6 she's actually taken time to watch them. So I think she knows it's here to stay.
And she also saw the cookie video.
Yeah, she saw the time when I let Tyrus eat Oreos. So before I got in the lovely Pizza Hut dinner that I ordered for him and Brody. So no.
So you were sleeping on the couch that night. There you go.
Oh no, it's okay. She was happy too. She got to go to that. It was like one of those parties where they all bring cookies and exchange them, right? So everyone went home happy, but I was probably the happiest with the Johnson cookie, though, of course, right?
Everybody
So
got cookies.
Yeah.
You got cookies and baseball cards. I ate cookies.
Exactly.
She traded for cookies.
Everyone came away happy.
That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, that's really cool. Is there anybody that's like a relative that maybe doesn't live around you guys that's been keeping up with your episodes that kind of surprised you, or nothing?
My brother Adam has chimed in on one or two of the videos. He lives close by. We don't see each other that much, but
Okay.
he's got only like 15 miles away. We just, how life gets busy, and I don't know. We're supposed to go over there yesterday, but people are still a little under the weather. We didn't want to get anyone exposed, so we didn't even do Christmas with everyone this year. But no, he's watched. He collected cards when we were younger too, right? So he was the big Griffey Jr. fan. He's one of the reasons why I buy the Griffey cards.
Okay.
And then we used to go in the shop back when he was like older in life, right? And so he's back when we had like $1,000 you could spend on a box of cards, and I was like, this is insane. This is back before he had a real job, right? And like $1,000 is like your pay for the month, right? You're like, oh my gosh, you spent it like in 15 minutes and got literally nothing. So I think he's definitely moved on from cards. He went through phases too, like the Magic, the Pokemon. So he's a little bit younger, like 6 years younger. So he kind of hit those sweet spots where I missed out on those, which is probably not a bad thing. But
His Pokemon cards.
he had Pokemon cards. He got rid of a lot of his Pokemon cards right before the big boom, unfortunately. So
Right before Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Had the Charizard.
Exactly. So no, we had just, but I actually showed my parents, but they're not big into the YouTube, right? So they don't watch or anything, but they hear us talk about it, right? So I mean, it's pretty much topic of conversation whenever the entire around each other is about what we're going to do for the channel, or is any cards coming in, etc. So yeah, everyone gets to hear about it whether they like it or not.
That's cool. That is cool. Hey, since Tyrus is on here, Tyrus, I luckily didn't sell my Pokemon cards. Here's my big 3 from when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. You see those?
I got them all. It ended up being, they all got 8s. I don't know how I got so lucky, but there they are.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Ty's
Actually,
jealous.
when my son started collecting, I went back to my old childhood room, and luckily my mom left everything in there.
That's awesome. We don't
Yeah.
have it. I've tried to get.
The big three of that set, and the fact that he has them graded, I'm jealous.
We should be happy for him, not jealous.
And
A little bit jealous too, I guess,
Those
right?
are the cars that I want, but I can't because they're expensive.
We can save. Look at that. Snorlax.
Yeah, this is
the Snorlax.
Yeah, I know you like Snorlax, so I brought that out too to show you.
What do you say?
That's from Vintage Voltage. So, all right. So back to talking about you guys. So I've been like along the way trying to learn like different techniques and stuff like that to just have more people that are available to watch my channel. So I started using the YouTube Studio to use the analytics to see when people are on. Have you guys dabbled at all in being strategic on when you do your posts or
I'd like to say we had that level of proactivity around here, Theo. We have not. I know it's out there. And so it's a funny story. We didn't even get comments for the first while because we had our comments turned off because I didn't know they were even off. So
probably because you didn't say it's for adults. You have to pick that option to say is it kid appropriate? Yes or no.
So we had them turned off, and that's how the reason I even have YouTube Studio on my phone is because I think Shane's the one to help me walk through how to do that. So it tells you how we really were pretty pure with when I said that we're in it for just us. We didn't even have comments available for the first while.
Say this for adults because I did it on my.
Yeah, we have it now. We have it sorted now, but at the time we didn't know. So I think we literally didn't get comments for the first 4 to 6 weeks, and obviously we're okay with it. But
do you know though how to get to, if you wanted to, do you know how to get to the analytics part and it shows you a graph and it shows you in red what time of the day the people who watch your channel are on?
I have to go look at it. I've looked at, honestly, I think I saw it, but I'm not sure if our data is bad because it looked like everyone was in the same demographic. Now that may be true. It looked like everyone that watches our channels like 35 to 44 year old. I saw like one screen. So I've seen it before. I've seen like Google Analytics. I used to have blogs back in the day. Mostly on personal finance investing type stuff, but so I've used YouTube or the Google Analytics for that, but I haven't used the YouTube Studio Analytics yet. Maybe one day we'll get into that level of subscribership to where we need that. We're not quite at your level yet.
No, I just my opinion on it is it's not really about like subs and comments and stuff. It's just like sometimes your video can get buried, and it might be a really great video, and I just don't want. I don't want a situation where I post it at 11 o'clock at night and then my video gets buried and then like 5 people see it and it's actually a good video. So it's kind of more of, just trying to put it out there when the community's online is basically what my thought process is. But maybe somebody old school would say, no, you're just trying to get as many people as you can, blah, blah, blah. But it's really just that, like I said, people, when they're online, it's available. So
no, it makes sense. I mean, like I said, honestly, right now it's even just more about time availability. So like, as we post on the weekend, we still have to get chores done around the house and ready for the next week. So we kind of post whenever we have availability to jump upstairs for 20, 30 minutes. We tend to ramble, Theo. If you haven't seen our videos, a lot of our videos go a little bit longer than your videos, I think, and we don't do any editing.
Sometimes we post it at night, and sometimes we post it like at 3.
Let's put it this way: we never posted a video this early in the morning before, so
it's always in the afternoon.
And it's not that we don't wake up excited about our baseball cards. It's just we just don't. We tend to usually post in the afternoon or evening. I think just out of, like I said, just out of prioritization of the day, whatever else we have going on. So
I think it's really hard for me though. Sometimes if I have a video I really, really like, it's hard for me to wait like a day. And like I'm sitting there and I'm looking on my phone. And I'm like, I just want this video to be out already. I don't know. It's really hard to just like not put it out immediately. But it's all right.
We put them all out immediately, right? I literally, as soon as we finish, I start hitting the upload process. So we don't. So yeah, there's definitely no strategic thought about our ability. It's really down to like our internet speed here at the house. We kind of live out in the country, so like it takes a little while to upload our videos, even, right? Especially if they go long.
Wow. I don't have that problem. But yeah, you guys are an hour difference than East Coast time, right? So
yep.
Yeah. Well, let's pivot a little bit in the conversation. So you guys, I really have a thought here. I think you work for CSG, and I think they're paying you guys to do this. And you guys are the biggest CSG truthers on YouTube that I know of, and I want to hear why.
Yeah, no, I wish. Trust me, Ty and I talked about this. If we could move to Florida, if we could afford to buy the cards, we can afford now on a greater salary. Because I heard Orlando talk about it in his in your earlier episode, right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure I could quite squeeze by on 50K and be able to buy the cards I want to buy, but that would be a dream one day to do like a retirement type job where I was grading cards all day. But no, the CSG is really simple. You know, like, and obviously that's not where I work, but I think it's back to this whole underdog mentality, which maybe is more of a theme in my life than I realize, right? But like PSA is kind of like the big 800-pound gorilla, whatever you want to call them, right? And SGC doesn't have a registry, and so like I think we talked about this a little bit, but like
yeah,
I like to have a way to keep track of my cards and have the ability to like look at the pictures, and so CSG lets you have a registry, and I think they just have the nicest cases, right? So like here's that cookie card. I happen to have a handy here, right? But like they're just super clear, right? I mean, I don't know. I want to see the card. I don't
right,
want to worry about the red flip. I like the CSG holders. We've actually got quite a few CSG ones recently because they're the ones that grade the oversized cards, right? So we're trying to dip our toes into more of the oddball, and so we're not able to buy CSG because they don't fit the CSG holder. But like
right.
for us, it's just as simple as having a way to get our cards in a registry because I like to be able to flip through on my phone, even if I'm at work, and just flip through and look at all my cards. So I know it sounds silly, but CSG
No,
likes to do that.
I haven't got into the registry end of things, but I'm an SGC lifer. So like
Yeah.
you said, I couldn't do it if I wanted to. But I think that's really cool. And you guys came back with hoodies, I think, from one of the card shows. Like,
Yeah.
did you go up to their table and like start fanboying with them? Like, what exactly happened, or do they just have like just a store there and they're just like, oh, buy hoodies and hats, or what exactly happened with that?
So when my dad was still like putting in like my cards that I wanted to get graded, the people at the CSG booth were like, you get like one free spin on the like the wheel they had, and you could win stuff.
Okay,
And when I spun the wheel, I won this sweatshirt, and then
nice.
my dad asked because it like that's where, and then my dad asked for a CSG sweatshirt.
We were submitting like 50 plus cards, Theo. So that was that big order we got back in. We submitted it in person. So that's
Yeah.
how we got the swag. Is they were, I think they were tired of looking at me try to fumble my way through trying to do my first submission. But I tried just giving the kids stuff to like keep everyone occupied so no one was gonna like overtake the table. Luckily, CSG isn't that popular, so it wasn't like a long queue.
Yeah.
And then actually not coming back to the January card show. I was hoping they were because I want to get another submission, so we're going to mail it out. But Tyus run offset here a little bit. I'm not sure what he's getting, but no. So like that's all it was. They gave us some swag because we're submitting cards.
That's really cool. I think it's cool. Honestly, I was giving you guys a hard time, but I do think it's cool that you guys decided to go a different route. I'm very similar to you. Like that's why I do SGC with Clemente. Is I like to have uniformity in my
Yep.
collection, at least for Clemente. Like I'm also PC and like Dick Groat and Bill Mazeroski, and I'm fine with having a PSA slab, an SGC slab, a CSG slab. I'm fine with randomness in that. I'd rather just go after a specific card, but I think it's really cool to have the uniformity in your biggest collection. So I can definitely sympathize, and I think that's really cool. So
yeah, we have like just over 300 slabs for CSG already. So our 54 top sets all CSG,
yeah,
which is about 70 cards or so at this point, and then almost 200 Hank Aaron cards all CSG, and then or the ones we out of our collection. We have some other ones that aren't. We're waiting to get crossovers whenever they can offer the big cards, and then all our first Battle Hall of Fame cards. Obviously, you've seen us buy those all in CSG. We're giving away all the ones that are PSA in various contests, right? Just because it's fun. Why not give them away? I don't want to deal with. I hate dealing with eBay. That's what comes down on the selling side. I'm not the best to go in the post office.
I mean, you could. Yeah, go ahead, Tyrus.
And also, when I was there, they like saw me and they gave me two things. They gave me like a pin. There was like
Pristine
a
10, perfect 10, yeah.
Like there was a pin they could put on a shirt, and then they also gave me this sample card of like a Pikachu.
Nice. That's cool.
And I'm never gonna get it regraded because they said they only give those out at card shows, and if they do, they're very picky about who they give it out to.
Wow. That's
very
what
lucky to have it.
I mean. It's cool to be a part of a grading company that isn't the big gorilla in the room, like you're saying, and they actually care about you guys because they need your business, and they, you know what I mean. It's not just you're just not another number.
Yeah, they actually commented on that video when we did our review. They commented twice on our video, which I thought was they didn't have to do that, right? I'm
Wow.
sure it's probably some random 18-year-old kid in the in their media department, but still.
Wow. Do you see one of my thought processes was whenever I was doing my Clemente run is one of my thought processes was and I know it's bad to think this way, but I said if something ever happened to me, I said my wife, if she wanted to or needed the money, could easily sell this.
Yep.
If she wanted to. And SGC, not only do I love the slabs, but the vintage resale value is close to PSA. So I knew that it would hold value. I felt like at least. Do you have concern that a CSG, if you take a Hank Aaron and it's a 5 in CSG, it's worth $500. If you had it in PSA, it'd be $1,000. Do you have concerns about possible value moving down the road, or you really aren't worried about that?
I mean, obviously, we don't think about that, our mortality, right? But I guess, like for me, I'm hoping that Ty will hold on to these cards.
Yeah.
I'm just being idealistic with my hope, but I'm hoping that we'll be in a position where they won't have to worry about liquidating the cards. Had to do that a few times personally, over the years we needed money, right? So I know what happens, but obviously, if they do, they do, and they may not get much value, but it's just not obviously. I hate to say I won't be around to worry about it, but I won't be here. It won't be my problem, my cross to bear. But
I'll sell my Funko Pops before I sell.
Ty will sell his Funko Pops first. You heard it here first, folks.
And
Hold him to that.
I know how much it's worth because I have a Funko Pop app. And
there you go.
It's like the CSG registry.
Yeah, we're trying not to worry about value much in this household in terms of the cards or collectibles. Like the whole point of it is just to collect.
No,
but it's difficult. Like the money is always there. I know it's just like you said before. In terms of like we evolve over time. I think I'm trying to help Ty evolve back into realizing that it's about the collecting and the experience.
Yeah.
Not so much with the little piece of paper, what eBay tells you something's worth, or a website. But it's hard when you're young, right? We all had Beckett. I had Beckett growing up. I remember looking at it every month, which is kind of sad. I used to spend $5 of my $20 allowance every month, but to buy a Beckett instead of buying more cards, it wasn't very smart, right? So.
Well, you know what? I'll go back and forth on that. I think it probably helped educate you. And when you went to a card show or whatever, you knew actually what, you know what I mean? You knew if you were getting a good deal or not. So I would argue it helped educate you and what was out there. So that's really cool. I think that's really, I didn't, it's really genuine that you guys just care about the cards. And I think that's really cool. And I just think that's awesome that he would sell his Funko collection over the Hank.
That's a good kid right there, right? I didn't plan to say that, Theo. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. I did want to show you guys. I have 2 Hank Aaron cards that aren't multiplayer. So you've probably seen them, but the first one I got out of my dad's collection. It's a Sporting News one. It's got a bit of a miscut on it, but it's a really nice card.
That's nice. We need the 62 Topps All-Star. We're looking for that one. It's one of the ones on our list still to get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to get it. It's that one and the 61 All-Star we talked about a little bit earlier. Offline. Those are the 2 we need still for All-Stars.
It's a great picture. And then I bought this a while back. I've always wanted this card. It's one of my favorite Hank Aaron cards. Obviously, it's another All-Star card, but I love the blue background and how big his portrait is. I just think it's a sweet card. There's a little bit of pencil on it, but it made it really affordable for me, and I could live with it. I like the centering on the front. I feel is pretty good. So I'm happy with it. I probably won't get it graded, obviously, but I like it. I'm happy with it. You guys have any Hank Aaron cards that you might wanted to show off on this episode?
Sure, we'll show off. We'll try to find some CSG ones here for you. So this is why I like. This is SGC. Excuse me, SGC for you. This one we haven't shown yet. This one's huge. Like there's some of the slabs they do, and you have some big ones too, I think. Check this thing out. This is like a comic book size thing. I feel like these are crazy.
It's the size of
and this is
It's bigger than my head.
This is not a rare. This is not a John Mangini special. In fact, I think it's interesting. They slab these as 1976. I'm not sure if you can see it for the Magnavox company, but PSA has them as 75. I'm not sure which one's correct. There's no the back's blank, so there's no way to tell what's right. But because
what set is that?
it's Magnavox. So I guess when you bought a TV back in the day, they gave you one of these, like in your cardboard box that came with a TV. I'm assuming.
That card is sick. I love that Brewers jersey. Oh my gosh,
that's why I liked it. No, it's relatively inexpensive, and like there aren't that many. It's crazy. Like SGC is done like 10, maybe, and PSA, like I said, they slap them 75. They done like 30. So like this is back to where I think this Blue Jacket 66 says rare doesn't always equal value. This thing was like 40, $50, but it's just a cool. Like the slab alone costs probably 40, $50 to get done with one of these oversized. I'm assuming it's crazy.
Yeah. If you go straight to SGC, yeah, that's pretty much how much they charge for.
Well, I figured I was paying for the slab and got it for quote unquote got the card for free, so I was happy to get that one. And then
what grade? What grade did they give that?
They gave it a 9. This is one of the old labels, right? But it's a 9, 96.
Wow! Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wow!
That's what I'm saying. Rare doesn't always equal value, right? I think it wasn't me that said that. And then this next one, Theo. This one's we've been saving this one. We haven't shown this one anywhere. This one's SGC also. Trying to get out. Came from the PWCC vault. I bought it off of talking about resources, I guess. Have you ever used Net54? Maybe to do research or anything? So it's a chat forum. It's pretty popular. It's been around a long time, but obviously, like, super happy to have this one. This one's I'm not sure if you're going to see it or not. This is the Home Run Derby from 1959.
Okay.
You remember the TV show? Did you ever watch that back in the day on ESPN Classics? It was basically they'd have like two big players. The back's just blank. There's only like 50 of these total between SGC and PSA. It's pretty rare that the main one of this is like, I don't know, 5 or 10K. This one's obviously not that much, but
oh my gosh,
really happy to have this one. But there was a TV show that ran for one season, and they'd bring in like it was December '59 when they actually they went to bat or whatever. But like, yeah, he was on 7 episodes. He went 6-1. Hank did. He won the most contests that season. Mantle had more homers. Mantle was in there. Mays was on that TV show. It was a really cool program. They have all the episodes on YouTube if you ever want to check it out. But
wow, I never heard of it.
This is probably our second most valuable card we got of Hank Aaron.
Wow.
Behind the rookie card. So it's
what grade did you say that is? A 7?
This is just a 3.
A 3? Okay.
I mean, like I said, there aren't a ton of these going around. This is like one of the top 3 or 4 from SGCs they ever graded. Sorry for the glare.
Wow. That's really cool piece.
But yeah, it's got one of those crazy, that I don't understand the grading of a grading. I don't understand what that these are. Whatever this means. S top 5%. I don't know what that means.
Saying that. Did you buy that from PWCCC?
I bought it from someone that had it in their vault, and PWCC, I guess, put their ranking on it or whatever.
Yeah, PWCC has a scam they do. In my opinion, it's a scam.
I think so too.
Yeah, they take cards and that are graded, and they go, this is in the top 5% of this card in this grade. So basically, they're saying it's 5% best SGC3 they've ever seen.
Which is funny because it's only SGC3 they have of this one, I think, right? So literally a scam of all scams, and that's why I don't put any credence behind it. But I don't know. Until CSG can grade it, we'll just keep it in this slab. I'm not going to break it out or anything. It looks nice in the slab, I think.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna throw out the thing that says it's in the top 5%? But it's still like it's so funny that they do that. I said it on the last video, but I stopped using. I actually sold a bunch of stuff on PWCCC and stopped after the shield thing happened. But I think it's interesting how people are finding good deals on there, and it's all about the cards. It kind of stinks to not have an option there, and I could have a good deal. So I might have to go back as far as the buyer goes.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff on there. Like I got this. I got that one on eBay. I got like the other autograph we showed recently. I got off PWCC, and it was like basically $300. But I mean, like the card normally goes for $600 on eBay. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take PWCC all day. I don't think people are going to fake autograph cards. Maybe they do. I don't know. This is where my ignorance probably gets the better of me. But I like to think a serialized autograph from Topps is legit. So yeah, we have one other oddball. I thought this one's not an SGC. I wish it was. It's in PSA. Like I said, we're getting this oddball kick. I'm not sure if you can see this. This is another huge, stupid slab, but like, it's Action Cartridge. You ever heard of this?
No, I never.
So it reminds me of that 8mm film, whatever, Nick Cage. But like, basically they put it like this. Back when they had like the Super 8mm film, and it showed you how to hit. And it was like it came in this box. It was a little cartridge. I don't have the cartridge. I have just the box folded out. But
Wow.
this one's only a 3 also. But there weren't a ton of these either. This is like, again, back to where rarity and value don't always equal, right? But there's probably like 40 or 50 of these as well.
What year was that, and what grade did you say it got? A 3?
It's a 3. It's 1970.
Okay, 1970. And did they have? Was it literally only a Hank Aaron, or did they have other stars on that?
Oh, there's like 20 or so stars. I think there might be a mutual one. There's a, I can't remember mutual. There's some other decent player, like other big name players were in the set. Maybe Frank Robinson. Oh, here it is. I got the set back. What am I doing? We got Seaver, McCovey's on here, Reggie Jackson, Pete Rose, Luke Brock, Brock Carew, Brooks Robinson. So yeah, some other big name players.
Nice.
There's 4 players in total, but there aren't a ton of. I just try to get some of these rare. You know, we're close to the end of the basement. Probably should just finish that, but I can't get distracted amongst my own distraction PCs here. But it's been fun.
I kind of, I never ran into that because I finished my Clemente run, but I did when I was in the middle of doing the base cards. Like you said, though, if you find something that's either a good deal or rare that you don't know, like to me, I'm probably the same way. I'm like, what if this doesn't come back for 2 years?
And that's just it, yeah.
And I made a video like maybe a month ago that said these are the 10 cards I really want to focus on. They're all oddball Clemente cards. But like yesterday I was on there and there was a Clemente poster that was like $20. And like to me, I'm not gonna pass up on something that's like that I also want because I'm stuck on these 10 cards that, you know what I mean? So it is tough sometimes. I agree.
Yeah. It's not always going to be dogmatic about like what your next 10 cards you're going to buy are, right? So
yeah,
it's good to have some guardrails in place. But if you find a good deal or you find something that piques your interest, I don't let it slip by.
No,
so I don't have the patience a lot of people have. We're only like 5 months in, and we have, I don't know, close to 400 Hank Aaron cards. So we're moving through it. But
yeah, I meant to ask you that because I bought my Clemente stuff at a rapid pace as well, but not as rapid as you guys have been buying. And you guys buy modern stuff. I don't buy modern. But I guess see, my thought process was always like, obviously, I want the cards. I want the cards to look at my standard of what I want them to look like. But my rule's always been I don't go over comps, basically, as best as I could find the comps. Do you hold, or your rules kind of similar, or are you kind of like you kind of like if you really like something, we are willing to pay over comps, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, the tough part is back to what you said before about the value with CSG. Like, since we're buying mostly CSG slabs where possible, like there aren't a whole lot of comps. That's what makes it difficult, right? But the one benefit we have is like CSG tends to go cheaper, which is kind of your question about what we would do if something needed to be sold. But so I'm actually able to buy them for what less than PSA or SGC comparable cards would be, right? So
Okay.
I feel like there's value there, but yeah, there are some things that have come down. Like the rookie cards come down, I feel like quite a bit the last even just a few months. Like it's probably down 15-20%. Like you can get these below 3 now for 3s and 4s from Hank now, which is I think a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Hoping the same thing happens to Clemente. I'd like to pick up a Clemente rookie. It's a nice card, the 55 tops.
I'm trying to get the 55 Bowman set.
And Ty wants to start the 55 Bowman set. See, the problem is we have too many wants and too many distraction PCs, Theo.
Yeah, I know.
It makes it fun, though, right? We always can find something we want on eBay anytime. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. What's your eBay strategy? How much time do you spend on it a day? What's some of your strategies as far as eBay goes?
So we have our safe searches for all our 7 PCs. So we have 6 distractions plus our main PC. I check them 3 to 4 times a day, probably. Sadly,
yeah.
I use it. We have 3 dogs. We never really talked about our dogs much on the channel, but they tend to wake up in the middle of the night. So I have to go like at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'll check then because a lot of people on the West Coast will post cards overnight, and I'll look for like the newly listed. So I always search the newly listed more than even the Indian soonest.
Okay.
And I'm always looking for like best offer situations, and I'm never afraid to offend anyone. I'll make an offer, and we'll go back and forth a few times if we need to, but I'll try to get a good deal, right? So I probably buy 80% of my stuff on best offer.
Okay. Wow.
And I'd say usually the second offer usually gets it for the most part. I think a lot of times after you sell for a while, you realize like usually the first second offer you're gonna get is probably your best offer, and so people are pretty good about being receptive as long as it's not totally out of line. So, and a lot of the sellers end up being the same seller at this point. They know who we are.
Yeah.
Especially the CSG slabs. There aren't that many people selling them, right? So they tend to see us and they know we're gonna come forward with a pretty good offer. And then we're obviously we're gonna pay and not have any issues there, right? So I think that helps a little bit after a while, get some credibility. But it's just tough because CSG is just on a lot of slabs, right? So there's like 3 or 4 slabs on there at any given time versus I'm sure Roberto Clemente SGC's probably got thousands. I haven't searched it, right? But it's probably at 4 figures at any given time, right? So it makes it tough. We're only down to a handful of cards left, so that's why we're going into the oddball stuff just to keep us with some stuff coming in while we wait for stuff to hit. Patience is not our best strategy. So the other thing we do is we buy the raw stuff off eBay or ComC.
Yeah.
For the ones we need for our registry. We're trying to get to at least 90% complete of what's been added to CSG, which is around 200 cards right now for Hank Aaron. But like I guess compared with the PSA registry, there's they call it the super set. There's like 1,100 cards in that one, right? So just a lot different levels of the registries, even amongst the companies.
Well, okay, you're on CSG registry. What percent of the 200 cards? What percentage you guys add, and where you guys rank at?
We're 85%. We have like 172 of the 201 that are out there.
Wow.
But we tend to add a lot of those ourselves, right? So that's the thing. So we end up being the ones kind of pushing the registry forward. And we're first place in that because, like I said, a lot of cards are ones we've added ourselves, right? So there's a pretty healthy distance from the person that won it last year.
What percentage is last place or second place?
15%.
So PSA does like a banquet. The only reason why I know this is from Orlando. PSA does like a banquet at the National, and if you have the top registry for a certain category, you get to go. Does CSG send anything or have a plaque, or do they do anything, or you don't know?
Yeah, well, so we obviously weren't doing it in July when they gave out their awards, but this is their first year to give out awards was in 2022, and they had to give out $500 gift cards to the registry winners.
Wow.
To use for like obviously credit for grading. They gave out a plaque that looks really nice, so we're hoping to get there. They kind of do it by category though, rather than by registry, because there's so many different sets. There aren't a lot of adoption. There isn't a lot of adoption yet. So
right,
there's one player collector that does Clayton Kershaw that's got like 250 of the 260, so he's got a higher percentage and a lot more value, right? Because he's got all the high end autograph Kershaw stuff. They do the point system. It's mostly based on dollar value. Wow. He's got like 40,000 points in his registry, so we just spent like roughly 40K. We're not quite there yet. We're at just under 20,000. So we got a ways to go to catch him, but we've chat. I've actually reached out to him just to chat with him, to tell me he has a really great set, and obviously he's pushing us to try to grade more cards. I was kidding with Shane on Shoebox Legends. I should just grade a bunch of random Kershaw cards to throw off his percentage, but I'm not that competitive.
That's funny. That's really interesting. I didn't know anything about that. Well, I actually came up with a game for us to play.
Nice.
So okay. So first off, how many pitchers do you think Hank Aaron has hit home runs off of? Just a guess.
250.
310 pitchers. Okay.
Wow.
And how many Pokemon do you think are out there? Ty, you want to answer?
I'm looking at Ty. I have no idea. Like 3,000? If I had to guess, what's your number?
Like 5,000.
There's 1,008 Pokemon.
We were way over.
No, yeah, no. Well, every time you turn around, there's more, I guess. But the game is, I looked up all the pitchers that Hank Aaron's hit a home run off of, and I looked up all the Pokemon. So pitchers or Pokemon. I'm gonna give you a name. You have to tell me if it's a pitcher or a Pokemon. And Ty's too good, so you're gonna get 2 times to phone a friend because he's gonna know these Pokemon. So it's not really fair. So all right. So the first name is Nuxhall. Is that a pitcher or a Pokemon?
Pitcher, Joe Nuxhall, right?
Yes, you're right. The next one is Spinks.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
Nope, it's a pitcher. His name was Scipio Spinks.
Oh man!
So you missed one so far. Ty, you can't talk on this one. The next one's Froakie.
I'm gonna say Pokemon again.
You're right. It's Pokemon. Next one is Paris.
What was it?
Paris.
Pitcher.
I think that's a Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon. Yep. Next one is Bronzor.
Pokemon.
Oh, I'm going to poke you. I'm going to phone a friend here.
All right, that's fine. Twitchell.
My gosh, these all sound like pitcher. I'm going to go pitcher just because I haven't had one in a while.
Wayne Twitchell. Yep, it's a pitcher. Morwhack.
Oh my gosh. Pokemon.
Yes. Granger.
Pitcher.
Yes, Wayne Granger. Next one is Tauros.
Pitcher.
Pokemon. It's the one that looks like a bull.
I have that. That's one of my cards that I got from a vending machine.
You only got one more left. I know this is painful. You only missed two, I think. Rooker.
Pitcher.
Jim Rooker. Yep, he's a pitcher.
I think I missed three. That's not too bad. Those are good.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I always do 10 questions in a minute. You up for the challenge?
You know I talk fast. I got this.
All right. I got my timer here. All right. Ready?
Ready.
Favorite pitcher in MLB history?
Maddox.
Favorite 60s top set?
65.
Favorite fast food restaurant?
Chipotle.
Favorite baseball ballpark?
Wrigley.
Favorite player you met?
Ernie Banks.
What Pokemon are you most like?
Snorlax.
What sport you played in high school?
Video games.
What's your favorite team to watch?
Phillies.
Okay. What YouTube channel is small but you want to give them a shout out?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones.
Do the one that we inspired to start his YouTube.
Eric J's Automatic for the Collector. He just started.
What's the last thing Tyrus got in trouble for?
Oh my gosh. Tyrus is perfect, right? No.
The cookie.
I think I got a little bit of trouble for the cookies and milk, but that was mostly on me, I think, than Ty. That wasn't his fault.
Wow.
No, I mean, Ty's a really good kid. I mean, he doesn't get into a ton of trouble. Like, he's really good at school, so I can't think of anything, honestly. It's been a while.
Wow. That's crazy. My son gets in trouble about every hour, so.
Well, we were there at a state. I think your son's how old's your son?
He's about to turn 8.
Yeah. No, we had some issues at 7 or 8. We used to tell good stories. We called it lying, but stories, I think, right? Storytelling.
Yeah.
We got past that stage, but no, I mean it's a fun age.
Yeah, definitely. But we tried. Well, do you guys have anything else before we end the video?
No, I mean, Theo, it's obviously been great to be on your show here. Definitely wish you best of luck with it. We've enjoyed the 2 episodes that have been out so far, and look forward to many more. But it's been great getting to know you and really enjoy your Clemente collection. So keep up your good work over there.
Thanks, man.
The big 3 of the.
Ty's very excited about your big 3 Pokemon cards. Are you going to show? Do you have the entire rest of the set in pages, or what? How's the rest of the set stored? Or folders?
Yeah, I just have it. I just have it in a binder.
Yeah. You have to do a video. Have you done I don't think you've done a video of that yet. Probably not, right?
No, I mean, obviously, I like it because I collected it when I was younger. But sometimes I between being on brand with what the channel is and what my what the subscribers that watch are. I try to limit crossover stuff as much as I can. So
that makes
sense. But you guys are doing some amazing stuff. You've only been on YouTube for like 3 months, maybe 4 months.
Early August 12th. We actually I picked that date to start the channel because that was the 5-year anniversary of Those Back Pages. He's one of our big influences.
Awesome.
Eric over there. That was like his 5-year YouTube birthday, whatever you want to call it, right? So
the Sunday that school started.
It was the Sunday before school started. Ty remembers it for that reason, but yeah, that's why we started that day. You guys
are genuinely really great guys from talking to you offline and great. You're some of the biggest supporters out there on YouTube. So I love watching your episodes every week, and I appreciate the friendship. And hopefully, as we keep going down the road, we can continue that. And hopefully, Dominic and Tyrus can get to know each other, and that'd be really cool that they start a friendship, maybe. So
yeah. No, that'd be cool. Hopefully you'll be at the Cleveland show or something. I know that the Nationals there in 24, right? So that's not too far from you guys, I don't think. So maybe they can connect them. We're hoping to go to Chicago this July if you're going to go to the National. I know there's
Yeah, I'm trying. We'll see. I'll let
all
you
right.
know if I am going to go. But
Sounds good. No, definitely. Likewise, I've enjoyed getting to know you, Theo, and you have a great channel, great brand. Obviously, very aware of the editing and all the things that I think people are looking for and good content too. So, really appreciate having us on.
Thanks, man. Well, hey, Tyrus, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You did great. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Theo. Bye-bye.